Those pictures we took over at Clark, Feed, Seed, Hardware, Plumbing, and everything, did you?
I did. Do you have them, Brad?
Brad, have you got me and, is it Joe Williams?
Joe Williams.
Yeah, I showed that photo right to you. Brad, hang on a second. It's Brad. There, yeah, that's me on the right. That's Joe on the left.
That's
Saw
right.
him over yesterday on Highway 53 at Clark, Feed, Seed, Hardware, Plumbing, and anything else you need. But said he'd been watching me since he moved here in 1982. Lives out on somewhere in North Huntsville, over on Pulaski Beach. He said, yeah, watches me all the time. That's me on the right, him on the left.
Also have
good
a
photo,
picture.
Brad.
Since 1982. Of him, yeah, it's a great photo of him. He's a good-looking man.
Brad Huff, I almost didn't recognize you. Look like you stand under a clothesline without getting,
He's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I've tried to be healthy, change the way I eat completely. I took out almost all sugar, all white flour.
So that's all you did?
That's basically all I did, and I can eat basically everything I want of the stuff that I want, and it's been great.
Well, I noticed you was going to town on those Chick-fil-A things this morning, so
They're good.
They don't have sugar in it.
Yeah, of course not. No, of course not.
What are you doing now?
Still working as a weather risk management consultant for the company called Weather Call, and working with the 85, 87 TV stations now that carry it across the country. We also have commercial businesses, hospitals, manufacturing plants, and that business is exploding right now, actually. And also consulting for FEMA still, about 10, 12 weeks out of the year, teaching communities how to prepare for disasters and get ready for the next big one.
Now, residents can get Weather Call as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just simply going to weathercall.net. Weathercall.net is the website, and you can learn about Weather Call for Schools, which is now being offered to every K through 12 public and private school in North Alabama for free.
Oh, nice.
And that is it's a commercial version of Weather Call, but it's just toned down for a school. So, and that's available right now anywhere for free in North Alabama.
You don't miss being a television weatherman?
Not at all. No.
You did that for how many years?
27 years.
CNN out of Atlanta.
Right, on CNN and Channel 31 and Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Savannah, Georgia for 10 years. And yeah, I don't miss it at all. I enjoy working with the meteorologists now. I just became uncomfortable after a while being on TV. I didn't like being the guy in Lowe's that was the, quote, local celebrity, because I was actually, I
like that.
I know, of course you do, but because that's the way you are.
I prefer Walmart.
He thinks he's running for office.
But because my passion is weather risk management. My passion is people saving their own lives during severe weather. That's my passion.
We're going to run a little video of a tornado 2 years ago that we shot. But as we are in tornado season now, what do people need to know first and foremost? Everybody first, a lot of times you don't have electricity, you can't watch television.
Right, exactly. Well, on April 27th, Weather Call was credited as being the last working notification system running that day, because the Weather Service lost all of their NOAA Weather Radio transmitters. And remember now, NOAA Weather Radio and any free app that's out there, whether it's offered by a nonprofit organization or anything, any free app that you get is about as good as you pay for. It's usually a county-wide warning, or it's something that's in general. Weather Call and what we do in another company called Weather Decision Technologies, we actually do very small based warnings where if you're this coaster, you're not, I'll show it to you in a minute, if you're in one location, you're going to get the phone call or the messages that you're in the path of the storm. If you're not in the path, you don't get a phone call. That's not how sirens work. That's not how weather radio works.
Is that much better than watching television?
Much better than watching television. Yeah, because see, what people don't understand about television is unless you're seeing someone that has an actual live radar, the radar that they're showing is dated. And there's only one TV station in Huntsville that has an actual live radar that they show, and you can actually see the radar echoes.
When you say dated, how much?
Sometimes 5-7 minutes, and these storms are moving at 60 miles an hour on April 27th, and a 5-minute-old image makes you look at it and think, oh, I've still got time to react, when it's actually 5 miles closer than what you actually think. And that's something that people don't understand, is when they're watching television, unless you know that is a live radar, and unfortunately there's so many TV stations across the country now that claim to have a live radar, and it's actually not. The image that you're seeing
weather is such a big part of newscast.
Right.
It's the biggest part.
It is. It is. And I've been told in my career, I want you to make weather the lead story today because there's nothing else in the news. And my answer is, it's going to be sunny for 7 days. What's the lead story? So weather's being pushed for people to actually, I hate to use the word mislead, but in some cases mislead people to say the weather's going to be really bad in 10 days. Up next, and I don't like that. I don't like doing that.
Yeah, that's like we were watching. We lived over in a local circle in Huntsville, and they came in and said, They're like a tease at
Rapist
Force.
in
Had
your-
5 rapists loose in 5 points. I said, well, that's where I'm living. How about telling me now where he is?
Right, exactly. And
Well, I will wait for another hour to find out where he is.
and then you'll see that story pushed back to the second block, the third block, and sometimes even the next hour. And I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm comfortable with companies that call people and say, you're in the path of a tornado. I'm comfortable with teaching for FEMA and teaching communities how to prepare for disasters.
Since we're like in a tornado alley right here, basically,
Yep.
what's the biggest mistake we make here?
Ignoring warnings. That's the biggest
taking them
mistake. Not
seriously.
taking them
Well, I
seriously.
want to run outside if I hear
Well,
a
see-
warning and say, man, where is it?
Sirens
Here's the
going
story
on.
that I tell people. If you live in a village and there's a monster in the woods around the village, and that monster comes into town periodically and it bites the heads off of children and takes people's arms off and cuts them in half with their teeth.
Where are you getting these stories?
I'm telling you what, just read the Grimm fairy tales. Or actually go follow the path of a tornado. If you hear a twig break in the woods, you want to know that twig has broken, because that might be the monster that comes and takes your child. But we don't think of a tornado that way, and that's how tornadoes kill people. They kill people by doing horrible, vicious things to them. And if you understood what tornadoes actually do, whenever you heard a siren or whenever you heard a warning, whenever you get your weather call, you'll actually move. Because, I mean, I can't tell you how many people died on April 27th that thought, here, you know, we've heard this before.
Here we go again.
Right, exactly. And by gosh, if that monster's coming out of the woods to my village, I want to know it every time, because I'll take it seriously every time. That's how I treat lightning. Lightning is like a man standing on a 10,000-foot tower shooting sniper rifle bullets randomly in a 6-mile direction.
So what's the best thing to do during a thunderstorm?
Is to stay inside, get in a car.
Don't even walk out on your porch?
If you can hear thunder or see lightning, it's too close. Weather Call has an app, a mobile app, that actually will let you know when lightning is within 6 miles of your phone. And then we'll let you know also when lightning has stopped striking within 6 miles of your phone. And it's a hot commodity right now to athletic directors, coaches, people like that who need to know and who need to
Get those kids out of the
get the kids off the
outdoors.
field, get the parents out of the stands, because they've got to know that stuff. Because we live in a part of the country with hills and trees, and we can't always see lightning when it's too close to be dangerous.
The other day, they said it was supposed to rain, but we actually had thunderstorms, and Weather Call did alert us,
Severe thunderstorm warning, right?
Right, and lightning warnings.
Now, lightning kills how many people a year?
I think it's 300 or so, or at least injuries. Flash flooding is still the #1 cause of death. Lightning
Really?
is the number 2. Tornadoes come and go, depends upon the outbreaks every year. But it's something that
Now, flash flooding. You talking about people trying to drive
People
through
being
something?
stupid.
Being stupid?
And yes, most people drive through flash flooding. And did you know that 77% of people that die in flash flooding are in a truck or SUV? Because they think,
They're big enough.
I bought this big thing, I can drive through this.
You, Mr. I drive a Hummer, think I can go anywhere. You would probably be a prime example of that.
Well, you'll be with me.
I know.
No, I've actually asked people, if someone's about to drive through flooded water, ask them to stop and let you out. Just because I've known people who've done that. I've known a family who lost their life driving across the road that they've driven through 1,000 times when there's water on it. And that time there happened to be a washed out culvert and they flipped over and they drowned.
When I had 10
sad.
acres out at Hampton Cove, I did that several times. I'd have to open the door of my truck to see the stripes in the road because water was coming in almost to the running board, up into the door.
Right.
That's before your time.
Way
Had I known
before
now
my
what I
time.
did then, I'd just pushed her out then, and maybe she would have drowned.
You're on a
Well,
roll
see that?
today.
What?
Then it wouldn't have been my fault.
The way that
She wanted out, so I let her get out.
The way that my life has changed is from being in television, talking about sunny days, 300 days out of the year, and bad weather a few days, is now going to communities that have had earthquakes and wildfires and tornadoes and hurricanes and teaching them. And it's like, my wife says, you've got to be depressed all the time because all you deal with is disaster. And I tell her, that's not how I look at it. I don't look at what people have
say
lost.
Now, this
I
is
look
coming
at how-
from a nurse?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Right,
you be
right.
depressed
right.
being a nurse?
An oncology nurse, right? I don't look at the disaster. I mean, I look at the disaster as a learning tool to help the survivors survive the next one, and that's what we do for each other, and that's what Weather Call does. That's what FEMA does. At least what we do with FEMA.
All right, bottom line, as we approach March, or in already March and April, it's the #1 spring thing is
Time for
tornadoes.
tornadoes.
What advice have you got for people?
Be prepared, take it seriously, have a notification system that you can trust, whatever it is. I suggest people have a weather radio and a service like Weather Call that will alert them in case a tornado or severe thunderstorms coming their way. Don't take severe thunderstorms lightly. And secondly, the government is now offering these free alerts to new cell phones. Those are still county-based warnings. They overwarn people. In fact, they warn people. They warn more people than weather radio. So have something specific that you can trust, and have 2 or 3 sources of warnings that you trust.
Weather Channel announced they're changed their name to Weather Company now.
Yep.
Why is it if there's a blizzard coming in somewhere or a flood or whatever, the weatherman is standing out there hanging on to whatever he can to make it look like I'm about to get blown away because I'm an idiot?
Eventually, one of these guys is going to get blown away because they are idiots, and someone's going to get hurt, and that will someday, you know,
Change the way they do
it may change the way we do things. As far I say they do things. I'm no longer we, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous every time they do that. Except maybe a blizzard. You know, it's not like it's you got at least a warm truck to go get into. But hurricanes, tornadoes, going and standing in front of those things and doing live TV, I've always thought it's just one of the craziest things ever, and someone's going to get hurt or killed someday.
But you don't miss TV.
Not even for a second.
What are you doing here?
I love talking to you.
He loves being harassed by you.
Because you guys, because you never know what you're going to get when you come in.
Well, Brad, thanks
No
for coming
doubt.
up, man. You did a great job when you were on 31 and CNN. Always a pleasure to see you. Stay in touch and advise us all on what we need to do from time to time.
Will do.
All right, thank you. We got to take a break. When we come back, Ben's still here? Yeah, there
Yes,
he
he
is.
is.
He's saying,
still
what am I going to
awake.
play next that they're going to
Great
like?
story,
So
man.
anyways, that's coming up next on a Friday morning edition of Cooper Coming Live. Y'all hang on.
Get a call around 7 o'clock from a phone number I thought you forgot. I can't say I'm shocked to be hearing from you. I heard you had a new boyfriend. I guess you ran another one off again, and I'm the only thing left between you and nothing to do. You say we got a little catching up to do now, don't we? I'm really lonely. And just because I answered the phone it's Saturday night, sitting alone with no one home to call my one and only. I don't really need your help. I was perfectly fine here by myself. I don't need you or nobody else to want me. If the best thing I can do is you and I'd rather be lonely. I've been down this rock before. I know how it ends and I ain't looking forward to being torn up over you and wanting back. Cause I'm getting wiser in my older days. I'm tired of learning lessons in your hard way. I think it's best you stay right where you're at. Between being tore up and the hurt that you're bound to put on me, I'm really lonely. And just because I answered the phone